Welcome. This is the first installment of this semester's Financial Literacy Speaker Series. The series is a five-part series. The first section that we're going to talk about this semester is budgeting and smart spending. This series is graciously underwritten by some folks here that I want to introduce you to. California Coast, Kathy Gilhooly.
Hi there.
Chase Peckham, San Diego Financial Literacy Center. Our San Diego Mesa Foundation. And if you are not aware of, we have a student government body called Associated Students who also underwrite this, and they are looking for folks just like you to take some leadership roles on this campus. So if you're interested, let me know afterwards and we'll get you hooked up with that, okay? There is lunch, there is a handout, there's a sign-in sheet, so please make sure you sign in so that we have an accurate record, and if you're getting this for extra credit, let me know who the instructor is so I can provide that information to them, okay? Your speaker this morning is Rae Russell. Rae is a volunteer for San Diego Financial Literacy Center. She is also an entrepreneur and owner of Financial Coach for You. So she's going to be speaking to you again about how money works, budgeting, smart spending. Right?
All right, thank you very much. And the crowd goes wild. Woo! Yeah. All right. You know, talking about budgeting is so boring. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. But how many here love to make money? You're here to make money, right? To learn the skill sets that you need. So this is about you. This is for you. If you have questions to ask, feel free to ask them. If you're shy about it, just write it down and pass the note, okay? But this right here is for you. Thanks for the kind, warm intro, Howard. I love to be here. I'm a volunteer for San Diego Financial Literacy. And so I love to volunteer and share with you all of my knowledge and skill sets. So what you get out of this class is what you're going to get out of it, what you want to get out of it, okay? What you don't know about money is going to cost you big time. Good question I like to ask is, at what age did you start making money? What age? Just throw some numbers out here, because I'm very interactive. I'm going to throw questions out here. We can be here all day, or we can get it going, right? 17. Any younger than 17 or 13? Any younger than 13?
You want a paper route? Anybody have a paper route? Babysitting? Nothing?
You were what?
There you go.
When I was 6, I used to go and sell my neighbor's flowers.
What? 6 years old. Nice. I've never heard 6 years old. That's awesome. That's amazing. 6 years old. So you figure out from age 6 to your current age, a lot of money went through your hands, right? Go home and ask your parents, at what age did you start making money, mom, dad? And do the math. A lot of them have touched millions of dollars. Millions. The question is, how much did they keep? Can you imagine if someone came along and says, you know, keep 10% of whatever you make? Where would you be at? Where would they be at? Would your situations be a little bit different? Money doesn't come with instructions. Because if it did, oh my gosh, I wouldn't be here, right? You could just flip to that page and, oh, this is exactly what I do. A lot of the mistakes that you make along the way is from the school of hard knocks. I went to that school. Any of you went to that school? Are you still learning from trial and errors, right? Okay, so if someone is going to come along the way and tell you or teach you how to get through that path, right? How to avoid going through that path and go over here, would you listen? Would you listen? Some people will, because out of a class like this, only a handful of you are going to take advantage of this. I know that, laws of numbers, right? And some of you are not. You're like, she don't know what she's talking about. But then the school of hard knocks is going to come, oh man, I remember her saying that. I shouldn't. Shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, right? So here's my contact information. I'm licensed, because a lot of times you get ideas or suggestions for people that don't know nothing about anything, right? For example, if your car breaks down, would you go to a mechanic or would you ask your uncle that think he's a mechanic? You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure the information that you get is information that's going to be beneficial from you, from people that are credentialed, licensed people, okay? So living on a budget and still having fun. How many of you know that Making a budget should be fun. It should be fun. But a lot of times people do not do it because it's hard work and they're like, I don't want no one telling me about my money. I know what I need to do. I'm making the money. But you should still have fun. What are some things that you can do for fun, especially here in San Diego? What are some free things that you can do? It doesn't cost no money. The beach. The beach. Do you know people come from all over the world to San Diego for vacation to enjoy what we have, the privileges that we have here? Do you know that? The next time you go downtown, just sit around and look and ask, where are you from? Where are you from? You'll see what I'm talking about. So when you're making your budget and you're staying within your budget, you still have to calculate fun in it, or else you're not going to do it. Okay? You're not going to do it. So we talked about your earliest money memory. However you feel about money right now is going to basically frame the way you live your life. If you look at earning money as just as, I work hard, so I got to play hard, that's how you frame your future. If you look at the money that you're making and saying, I work hard for this money, I'm going to put aside a little bit for my future, guess what? You're going to start working and start thinking about your future. How many of you here have homes? Bought a home? Good. How many of you here would love to buy a home one day? Yes. I remember when I first bought my home back in 1992. Some of you are like, whoa, she's old, right? People were telling me, you know what, Ray? It's too expensive to buy a house. $157,000? Man, that's a lot of money. How can you afford that house? That's what you're saying now.
I know, right?
That's what you're saying now. Now houses, the average cost of a house is about how much?
$583.
$500 for a decent house, right? Yeah. People are saying the same things. How can you afford to get a house? It's so expensive. So you got to listen. Think about who you're listening to. If I listened to my friends back then, I would not own my own home. So you have to make sure that the plans and the goals that you set for yourself, you are the ones that's responsible for it, nobody else. Okay? So, how many of you have created a budget in the past? I'm talking about a written budget, not one in the head. Was it hard? Was it hard? Did you stick to it? It was hard to stick to it, right? It is. It's tough. When you have to document everything, every dime that you spend, you have to document. It's pretty tough. So I came up with this calendar here. It's called a debt acquisition calendar. How many months we have in a year? 12 months. It's 12 times that the department stores and all these big name companies get a chance to pull money out of your budget. If you're not careful, you're going to get stuck. For example, what happens in the month of January? New Year's Day sales, right? What happened the month before that, prior to January? That was Christmas. Did you spend a whole lot of money already? Yes. Everything now is on sale. Buy one, get one free, 70% off. I told my kids, I said, next time, we're going to celebrate Christmas in January. Because everything that they want is on sale, so why not, right? They didn't like that too well. Then you have February coming around, Valentine's Day. Try going home without the flowers and the chocolates. Try. You're in the doghouse, right? You're in trouble. Out of the 365 days out of the year, this is the only day that you get to go home and say, Happy Valentine's Day. I think every day should be Valentine's Day. It shouldn't just be one day. But if you're not careful, you're going to get caught up in the hype, okay? Then we have St. Patrick's Day, another party. But then we have April come around. How many of you received a refund? Refund of whose money? Whose money? Whose money? Whose money? Your money. So you tell the government, I don't trust to save my money. Why don't you do it for me? And then pay me back my refund with no interest. Is that a good deal? Now, I'm not saying not to pay your taxes, okay? Let's just get that. Coach Rae didn't say don't pay your taxes. What I'm saying is find out what the healthy balance is, right? Because you need that money throughout the year to help you with your budget rather than waiting a year later for it. So think about that. Then we have a war going on between the mothers and the fathers. Really? I told my kids, if you wait until May to be nice to me and buy me things, then I'm going to just, when you get sick, I'm not going to take care of you. Mother's Day should be every day. Try going home today and just buy one rose or pick somebody's flower, right? And say, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And watch their face. Watch their reaction. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Watch their reaction. That's what I'm talking about, love, all throughout the year, okay? Then we have 4th of July. How many of you went to the barbecues? Did you go empty-handed? No. You better not come to my barbecue with nothing in your hands, right? That's another holiday where people, get the barbecues going, the chips and the salsas to watch the firework. This month right here is the most expensive month for families. How many parents we have in here? They have kids, isn't it? Did the kids wear the same clothes from last year to go back to school this year? Oh no, think about when you went back to school. You want everything clean and bagged. Oh my gosh, it's first day of school, right? It's very expensive for families. And if you get over, like some people, they go into debt, credit card debt, because they want the best for their kids. All throughout the year, remember we have sales. You keep your eyes open for that month. Oh, my kid's gonna need a backpack. Backpacks is on sale. I need to save that. Okay, so he talks about planning ahead. We have Labor Day, we just celebrated that holiday. Then we have Halloween coming up, y'all. Halloween, you love Halloween? Yes. It's a day for parties, a day for costumes. What's an average cost for a costume?
$50.
Woo, it went up.
Well, for my costume and my boyfriend's costume, it's like $50, but for the kids, it's like around $30 to $40.
And what's your costume again?
I think like last year we all made our own costumes. Actually, we were each a Purge character. But the year before, I was Harley Quinn, and like we were all something from the comics.
Nice. So one day. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And then we have Thanksgiving coming up. How many of you fly out of town or go out of town for Thanksgiving? You do? You got to buy your tickets like now, right? If you wait till later, it's going to be double or triple, okay? So we have holidays, and then we have Christmas. This is 12 months out of the year, but what else did we miss? What did we miss? Birthdays. Oh, yeah, birthdays, baby showers, graduations, weddings, anniversaries, funerals. Oh, funerals. GoFundMes, right? Yeah, so it adds up. I taught a class, elementary school. A little kid in the back raised his hand. Coach Rae, you mean when I die I have to pay too? I said, not you, sweetie. Somebody has to bury you. He's like I'm gonna die, But everything that you can see how the list just goes on and on and on. You have to set a budget. If you don't set a budget, you're gonna end up picking money off trees. You know what I'm talking about? The money trees and the lending trees, okay? Because you're gonna fall behind on your debts. Now, the importance of budget. When you're looking into your future, 70% of consumers, these are people that buy stuff, right? They live paycheck to paycheck. You don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. You know why? Because once that paycheck stops, what's gonna happen to you? What's gonna happen to your family? You have to set money aside. You got to. Do you know how many months that you should set aside in a budget for emergencies? Do you know? 2 months?
6.
Let's try again.
6.
About 6 months, 6 to 9 months of your monthly pay set aside. If in case you lose that job, because your jobs are not guaranteed, the boss looks for the bottom line, they're looking for profits. And if it means knocking you out of that position so that they can have more profits, they're going to see you, here's the pink slip. They don't care about your mortgage, they don't care about your kids, they care about the bottom line. So in the event that you lose that job, you're not stressing. You're not operating on stress mode. You have money set aside that can keep the monthly payments going while you look for another job, okay? So keep that in mind. 68% of Americans could not cover a $5,000 emergency without having to go into debt for it. This is where the emergency fund comes in. Why do we have emergency funds? If in case of what?
Emergency.
An emergency. What's an emergency? What's an emergency? Tell me. Your car dies suddenly, can't go to work. That's an emergency. What else? A death of a loved one? You know, you got to fly from West Coast to East Coast. Flat tire, pop. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Okay? So keep that in mind. 55% of Americans always or sometimes worry about money. Does money keep you up at night? A lot of people lose sleep because they're stressing about money. Okay? 30% of Americans spend more time watching reality TV shows. What are some reality TV shows out there? Oh, y'all don't watch reality TV? Wow, Kardashians, right? All the other ones. One day I watched the reality show. Yes, I did. I want to see what the big hype was. I'm like, you mean somebody's walking around with a television, a camera in front of my face 24/7, and I'm going to be real about it? No, it's all fake. But people turn on the tubes and sit there and just watch and waste their life away. Can you do a budget within that time frame? Oh no, Kardashians is more important. They're making millions. They do. They're making millions. You helping them make millions. Okay? So your priorities got to be in order. Think about this. When you borrow money, say student loans or whatever, you borrow from the federal government, every dollar that you borrow, you're going to repay $1.72. Where does 72 cents come from? Interest. Interest. They're in business to make money. Okay? So as you begin your journey, you got to take responsibility for whose money? Whose money? It's your money. You work hard for your money. You have to be responsible for your money. Okay? You have to spend your money wisely. You can't just go out there and blow. Your friends want to take you out to eat. Yeah, I'll treat. No, you don't want to treat. Have them treat once in a while. Maybe you guys go half and half. Don't try to act the part that you're not. A lot of times people try to impress their friends. You know, you're dating this girl and you're like, yeah, babe, I got you. No, you don't got them. Tell them the truth, right? You're accountable for your choices. Every choice that you make. You can't come back and say it's your fault. No, you have an opportunity to make choices. That's your choice. That's your money, okay? Get help. Most people, when they call a financial coach, they call me when I can't help them. And that breaks my heart. It really does. You're calling me when you got a 3-day notice to move out of your apartment. Why couldn't you call me the first time you missed that payment? The first time. Why you wait till late? Because what tends to happen is a crisis on your hand. Your crisis doesn't make it my crisis. I don't have that magic wand. I don't have a pocket full of money. Yeah, I'm the financial coach. They think I have a pocket full of money. I don't have that. I can give you advice. I can give you coaching. You know, like Michael Jordan, he couldn't be a success without a coach. You can't be a success without a coach because you need to have someone there to help you play that game. And it is a game that's being played. The rich people don't have to worry about the game. They pay somebody to play the game for them. You see what I'm saying? When you're out there working, making ends meet, you're hard working, you're out there just doing it. Can you afford to pay somebody to play that game? No, I'm trying to pay my bills, coach. I got to pay you too? You're another bill? You know what I'm saying? So your behavior matters. So you have to become mindful. Practice financial self-awareness. You have to practice this. I can't do it for you. Observe your thoughts and feelings and your behaviors. If your boyfriend or your girlfriend dump you, does that mean you have to go to shop? I'm depressed, so I'm going shopping. I'm depressed, I'm going to go eat. Be mindful of that, okay? Because it's gonna hit you in the pocket. Watch yourself and others and be honest. I'm a people watcher. I'm the type of person that go to the malls, sit in my car, watch people go in, watch them come out. You learn from people's behaviors. Okay, have you ever went to Walmart for 1 or 2 items? Do you come back out with just that 1 or 2 items? Let's be real. Costco. It happens to me too. I have to be aware of that. If I'm going in for 2 items, I tell my son, I tell my daughter now, because my son is off to college, bless his heart. I tell my daughter, here's the list we're going in for. Make sure mommy sticks to this list, okay? And she's good. Mom, that's not on the list. I know, but no, Mom, we didn't put that on the list. So what am I doing? I'm teaching her at a young age how to shop and stick to the list, okay? So watch other people. Be aware of the 24-hour marketplace. What do you think that is? Amazon. Online. How many of you heard of Wish? I had to delete that. I had to delete it. All the little cool gadgets. I'm like, oh, it's only $25? It adds up. Okay, so be aware of that marketplace because it never sleeps. When you stick to your budget, you got to reward yourself, okay? Because when you have a budget, that is your opportunity to improve your standard of living. If you're in an apartment right now, if you budget wisely, you could be a homeowner. You could be a homeowner someday. It takes sacrifice. It takes looking at the future, not just today. A lot of people work, they get good jobs, and they just live for today. They're like, I make $20,000 a month. Good. What are you doing for the future? They end up buying this expensive car. They end up renting this expensive apartment. I'm like, full. After 4 or 5 years, what do you have to show for your money? Nothing. I like talking to military folks. I'm prior military, so I can talk about them, right? Young ones coming into the military have no concept of money at all. This is their first real job. Every 2 weeks, they're going to get paid whether they work or not. What do you think they spend their money on?
Retail, hard payment, cars.
Biggest cars with the biggest wheels, right? And they pull in this big car into an apartment. So when I speak to them, I said, do you know that you can walk away from the military as a homeowner with money in the bank? A lot of them get out after 4 years, broke, looking for handouts. That kind of crushes my spirit. While I was in the military, I started Financial Coach for You because I wanted to teach the young ones coming in. It's not about how much you make, it's how much you keep at the end of the day, okay? So you control your spending. When you control your spending, it allows you to live a great life because it's about the future. It's about the future for your kids, right? Because you don't want to stay in the same situation that you're in saying, one day I'm going to own a house. 20 years later, you're going to say, one day I'm going to own that house. You got to make sure your plan is in place. Set the goals. So, you know whose income it is? I always tell people, I can give you all the advice in the world. I can't force you to do anything that you don't want to do. And I understand it's all about timing with people, right? Sometimes people react when there's a crisis. They have no choice but to. You don't want to wait till you're at the crisis mode to make decisions because it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be real, okay? When you have your money coming in, you sit down and you plan your budget. Make sure you put something aside for fun. Because if it's not fun, you're not going to do it, okay? Because whatever you spend your money on, it's for you to spend it or save it. It's up to you. I never lend money out to friends. And divorce, the number one leading cause of divorce is finances. When you have two people that do not talk about that finance, two people pulling from the same pot of money, and they're not talking. If I don't have the money to give to my friends, I'm not lending it to them because that destroys friendships. It destroys relationship. It destroys family. I know some of you are like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because I used to talk to so-and-so, now they just like avoid me. They see me coming and they do this number. I call them up on the phone and it goes straight to voicemail. I text them, they don't respond because they owe you money. Right? Am I speaking to myself? No. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So avoid these problems here that's going to cause conflict over money. So what is your biggest obstacle to sticking to a budget? Let's get some ideas. Any inputs? What's the hardest thing that goes through your mind? Why I can't stick to my budget? What?
Unexpected expenses.
Unexpected expenses. Okay? What did you say here?
It's easy to buy coffee every day.
Oh, I have pens here for people that participate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Buying, got a pen for, pass this down to the young lady here. Okay? So, buying unexpected stuff, Starbucks. How many of you buy a cup of coffee every single day? Got to have my coffee, right? It adds up, okay? You got to stick to your budget. Little things add up. The little cup of coffee every single day is like, the average cup of coffee is what?
$5.
Is that a venti grande? What is it? Normal. $5. Huh?
Over $600.
Over $5?
600 Starbucks coffee.
Yes.
When I eat,
Uh-huh.
and then over $600 total.
Oh, you calculated it just for coffee?
I read the article.
Oh, you read it? I was like, you spent $600 on coffee? That's good. You read about it. You see what other people are spending. Okay? Impulse purchases. You go into a store, you didn't go into the store to buy no shoes, Ray. I'm talking to myself, right? You go into that store, you didn't go to get that shoe, but you see, oh, that could match one of my outfits. Oh my gosh, it's on sale for $10. I gotta have it. Is that a need or a want? It's a want. So you have to identify between the needs and the wants, right? And be like, nah, I didn't come in here to do that. I'm gonna come back later. When you come back later, it's on sale for $5. Let's save $5. Not knowing how to start a budget. Do we have a problem with that? I want to do a budget, but I don't know where to start. How do you do this thing? And having trouble creating a budget reflects what? All of your expenses, all of your debts. You have to list all of your income. If you have X amount of dollars going towards recycling, include that because it's income, right? If you have your grandparents giving you money on a monthly basis, include that. It's part of income. But expenses as well, where you spend your money. One of the things I like to tell, especially folks that are just getting started in budgeting, is to keep track of all of their expenses. Every last dime that you spend. You buy a stick of gum, you're going to keep track of that. A can of soda, you keep track of that, okay? Because you get to see where your money is going on a monthly basis. You got to monitor those spending habits. A lot of you have smartphones. How many of you have smartphones? Let's see your smartphones. The rest of you don't have a smartphone? What's wrong with you? You still got the flip phones? It's very expensive. So if you have an expensive smartphone, you should use all the free apps. There are a lot of free apps that could help you with that, okay? And we'll go over that in a little bit. Unexpected expenses. Friends want you to go out to eat. What are you going to say next time your friends invite you out to eat?
Let me cook you dinner.
Are you buying?
Are you buying? Yes. Are you buying? They invited you out, right? You got to ask. You got to ask. And not having a clear food budget. You have to eat, right? So set your budget out for food. How much am I going to spend on food? And stick to it, okay? Feeling overconfident. Coach Rae don't know what she's talking about. I got money in the bank. I can do what I want to do. That's a bad attitude to have. And not actually taking time out to make a budget is going to cost you. But on the bottom here, I don't know if you guys could see the last statement. A lot of times we have problems saying no. Dude, you say no. I say I'm going to come up with a book, 100 different ways of saying no.
I like it.
Okay? It's going to be the #1 bestseller. Because you can turn to page so and so and be like, nope, no, absolutely not, heck no. Somebody wants to, okay, I'm gonna ask you for some money. What's your name, sweetheart?
Yeah, my name Tao.
Gemma?
Tao.
Tao?
Yes.
Can I get $20?
Sorry.
No, sorry. Don't be sorry about it. Because if you're sorry, now I'm going to come in on your soft side. I'm going to get that money. I'm going to get it. You say you're sorry, I'm going to get that money. What's your name?
Ventila.
Ventila? Can I get $20?
No.
Can I get $20?
No, thank you.
Oh, she's thinking. I can get in there.
It's coming from our culture. Our culture, when we went with someone to restaurant, you're telling them, I have to pay your food. I have to pay for, you serious to pay for other people, for your friends. Coming from our culture, which I think is not good thing with your budget. So it's coming from our culture. We don't want to say anyone. No, okay, okay, I will give it to you.
Okay, you guys know her? We're going out to eat with her. We're going out to eat with her. Yeah, that's true. In the culture, get you broke too, right? Can I borrow $20? Can I borrow $20? I'll get you on payday.
No.
You're smiling with a no and you're saying sorry. I'm going to get to you, okay? You got to be firm about it, right? Because it's your money. When people ask me to borrow money, I'm like, no. Ray, can I borrow $300? They don't ask for $20 now. It's $300. You know, Ray, I have a hard time paying my rent this month, and can I borrow $300 until I get paid next week? No. What? You heard me? No. And then they go into an explanation. I change the subject. So, girl, how's so-and-so doing? How's so-and-so doing? We're going to change that subject because I don't loan money out. If I don't have it to give to you, I'm not going to loan it out because I'm going to lose that friendship. Because I'm going to have my attorney write a letter to collect my debt. I'm going to have you sign a, promissory note. You see what I'm saying? When you go that route, like, oh, girl, that's not important. That's okay. Next time around, because sometimes we enable people. They can get resources, but because you're always there for them, they keep coming knocking at your door. And you wonder why you don't have enough money to pay your bills. Who's paying my bills for me? You got to be real with people, okay? So budgeting 101, you develop a plan, keep it simple and realistic. The worst thing you can do is set up a budget where it's unrealistic and it's not simple. It's so complicated. You got to take a course to do it. Keep it simple. Make a list of all of your income and your expenses, anticipated expenses as well, okay? Identify your shortfalls, and do you have a plan B for emergencies? If you're working, that's your plan A. Your plan B could be a moonlighting on the side. It could be a part-time job. It could be a building your business on the side that's bringing in income, okay? But don't just rely on that one frame of income, because when that one source of income is gone, what do you have to fall back on? How many of you here would love to own a business one day? Make sure that business you have your passion into it, because it's hard, okay? So implement your plan and revisit it every quarter. Every quarter you want to look at your game plan and see if you're on track. This right here is an example of a budget for a college student. And we're going to call this college student Andrew, my son that's in college right now. So glad he's out the nest. First year California student, 10 months, they're going to get $24,000 cost of living allowance into their financial aid budget. How many months do we have in a year? 12 months. This is 10 months. So you're going to take that money, divide it by the 12 months, which is going to give you $2,075 a month. We're not going to take that lump sum and put it into the checking account. Because if it's in a checking account, he sees it all the time. He thinks it's going to last forever. That money is going to go into the savings account. Every single month, you're going to transfer $2,000 into the checking account. That's the budget for the month. You guys understand? Okay. So you're living off $2,075 a month. And this is how an average budget would look. Rent here in San Diego, average of 1 or 2 roommates, you're looking to pay at least $1,000. That's rent, pretty around there. Plus you have utilities, plus you have dry cleaning and laundry, groceries, clothing, toiletries, monthly Charlie card. This is just a little spending money. Plus you have entertainment. Remember we talk about having fun? This is your fun budget right here, okay? And there's other expenses. So we started off with how much money? 2,000 what? Remember? 2,075, right? What did they spend? The total? 1,723. So that they end up in the positive, right? So they have an extra what? $352 excess. What do most people do with the excess? They still party. Remember, you're already having fun here. You got to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined to take that money, set it aside. But what if you take that money to pay down that loan that you got? Would that help you? So when you get out of school, you don't have a huge debt because you already paid down all throughout the years that you're in school. Okay? So there are different types of budget. We have a traditional budget. I'll show you. We've got a zero-based budget, which is basically every dollar that you spend has a purpose. You keep track of that. It has a category. It tends to be a bit more work. You have to put in more work and effort into it. Here are some. This spending tracker is what I use personally on my phone to keep track of my money. And it's a free app on the Google Play Store if you have a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, I'm sorry, you're just out of luck, okay? This envelope method right here is so cool. And let me give you an example of how you can use this envelope method. Let's say, for example, the ones that have smartphones, you got a smart bill that comes along with the smartphone, correct? Okay? So you know your smart bill would be about what? What's an average smart bill for a smartphone?
120.
120? Is that one or two phones?
One phone.
One phone?
Gotta get that unlimited data,
Oh, it doesn't come with data?
not the unlimited.
Okay. All right. So we're going to say 120. 120 is what you're paying every single month for that phone. So when you get paid, you take that 120, put it in the envelope, seal it. That's your phone. You have other bills, just put it in the envelope. What you're operating on is if that money is not into your checking account, you're not tempted to use that money. So about maybe 7 days before that bill is due, you deposit it and you write a check. That bill is paid. You see what I'm saying? You do that with all of your bills. You even do that with your vacation. If you want to go on a vacation, put it in an envelope. Take it out, put it in an envelope. Make sure you don't tell your friends and your family members where you put your envelope, okay? Because they'll find it. Trust it. They're like, I know they got an envelope somewhere. Okay? So you do the same thing for that. That's an easy way to practice saving. Because sometimes it's hard when you don't actually physically see the money. You just swipe your card. You're like, whoa, I'm falling behind. I still got to pay my cell phone bill. But if you had that set aside, then it'll keep you focused on your bill. This is a traditional budget. You have the income, you have the expenses, you have flexible expenses. These are fixed expenses that doesn't change on a monthly basis. Over here, you can, shave off a little bit here, a little bit there. And so at the end of the day, when you're looking at your income of $2,000, expenses over here, the total expenses over here, it shows that this person here has a grand total of how much left? $6. You're like, ugh, $6. Do you know a lot of times when I sit down with families, they're in the red? They're in the negative? That means they have more expenses going out than they have income. This is a great budget. Because what they can do is look at the variable side and figure, well, am I buying clothes every single month? Do I need to buy clothes every single month? No. This month I have an extra $50 going into to add to that $6. You see what I'm saying? How about food? Maybe I can use some of have you guys heard of pantries, food pantries? Where you can actually I think Mesa gives free food. Man, take advantage of that. Every Thursday, farmer's market, take advantage of that, right? Would that help? Absolutely. So that brings down your food budget. That extra, you take it and put it towards your savings, okay? What other places can we save money on over here?
Entertainment.
How much is spent for entertainment? $50, okay? So we can shave a little bit. And you see how that extras come in? But you can only find out about your extras if you put a budget in place. You can't just wing it. You wing it for the whole year. You're like, whoa, I spent all that on entertainment? Whoa. How much of that going back to you? So here's some budgeting tools out here that's available on your smartphones. Mint.com, or if you have a laptop, you can actually do that. I like using a smartphone because I can just go on my app and rather than going home and trying to document everything on my laptop. Mint.com, budgetpulse.com is good. Have you guys heard of those? How about Spending Tracker? Spending Tracker is what I use. It's a real cool app. Budget Tracker is another one, and Money Strands, okay? Buckfur.com. So all these sites right here, I endorse, personally endorsed, okay? Now, most people don't have they have too much month left at the end of their money. And the reason why I say that, how many of you in here clip coupons? Really? Good. When you clip your coupons, you stretch your dollars. A friend of mine goes to shop at Ralph's and Albertsons, these expensive grocery stores, and come out where they are paying her money. I'm like, how do you do that? And she's buying the good toilet paper now, the real double ply. And she buy a bulk of those. I'm like, okay, can I have some of those? You know, can I give you some money to go shopping for me? But when you use coupons, it stretches your money. Carpool. If you know you and a friend is going in the same direction, why both of you are driving the cars? Can't you communicate and say, hey, I'll drive this week, next week you drive? Right? Use carpools. Use public transportation because you get discounts as a student as well. Buy clothes at the end of the season. Now, San Diego is beautiful because we don't have seasons. We only have summer. Only summer. Even in winter, you have people walking around with flip-flops while the folks on the East Coast shoveling snow. But they do have end-of-season sales at the store because they want to get rid of inventory. Wait till the end of the season to buy your clothes, right? Buy generic brands rather than name brands. What's wrong with Kellogg's? Why do you have to buy Kellogg's? Kids don't know a difference when you take it and put it in a container, shake it up and mix it. They eat it. So save money on generic brands instead of buying name brand stuff. It's the same foods, same old foods. Buy non-perishable items in bulk. Top ramen noodles. Hey, if you buy 1 cup of top ramen noodle, it's going to cost you a whole lot more than buying it in bulk. Sam's Club, Costco. Got membership? How many of you have membership? So you actually don't have membership, look around and see who has membership and say, hey, can I go shopping with you? Right? You cut out the daily latte. If you like drinking coffee, make it at home. Carry a mug. I do. I make it the way I like it. You like Starbucks coffee? Get the Starbucks coffee, the grinds, and make your own. 30-minute rule. If you're shopping and you see something that you like, put it in your cart and just keep shopping. 30 minutes later, look at the item. Do you really need that? Do you want it? Take it, just put it wherever. Don't have to go back and put it in the original spot. Because there's people that are gainfully employed that needs to, nah. Student discounts. There are a lot of discount places here in San Diego locally, okay? Amazon Prime for students. Free what? Free shipping? With Amazon Prime, okay? You get save. Amazon, subscribe and save. And there's some discounts on clothing. The key is ask for discounts. The worst thing they can say is no, we don't have discounts, or we don't offer discounts. I'm a military vet. Everywhere I go, do you have military discounts? Do you offer military discounts? Home Depot, do you offer discounts? Oh yeah, 10%. That's a lot, well, especially when you're buying a big item. Okay, so ask. Entertainment, take advantage of happy hour foods. I'm not promoting drinking, okay? I'm just saying foods. You get there, buy one, get one free. Use Groupon. Some of you use Groupons. Before you pay full price for a ticket, look on Groupons, okay? Public libraries for movies. Redbox, out of business. Go to the library, rent that same movie. You can keep it as long as you want, okay? And watch it over and over. I like to go where the tourist goes and take tours, okay? Get a lot of good deals there. Membership, the museums. Zip cars. Zip cars out here yet? It's up north where my son is at. All he got to do is show his driver's license, he can rent a car. I was like, what? Zip cars. Just like those little bikes, you see those little pesky bikes all over the place, the green and the yellow ones, all over the place. You scan and drive. Same with the zip cars, $50, $15 to drive, to join. And then look at this website right here, Thrillist.com. This is where you stick out a lot of free and cheap events going on. So I'm not the expert. What are some ways you save money out there that you can help others? What do you do? What do you do to save money? Yes?
This might sound weird, but my niece turned me on to getting onto all those sites where you can get free stuff for your birthday. And so the last couple of years for my birthday, I've gone on a shopping spree to get all my free stuff. So like, what does that mean? I got a free pastry at Panera, free ice cream at Baskin Robbins, free meal at Rubio's, free makeup at Ulta, free stuff at, what's that other one that's in JCPenney, Sephora?
And what's the name of that site?
You just have to go to the different sites and get on their mailing list, their email list.
All right, there you go. Get the birthday list.
And I spend the whole
Pass
day
this back to her,
shopping.
please. Yeah, that's awesome. That's wonderful. I know for Veterans Day, or it's Memorial Day? Veterans Day is free for so many veterans, right? The different restaurants. So we start from the morning. We get breakfast, lunch, dinner. And we go, we take a bite. Can we have this to go, please? Thank you. Go to the next site. It's a fun day for us, veterans and stuff. So we end up buying for everybody in the family. And then we end up going, the last place we end up going is like Applebee's or some other places because the lines are long throughout the day. So we go late before they close and we get our meal, So you got to look out for the free stuff. Yes?
It's potentially dangerous because it involves your credit card, but when you have rewards, you can get $100, several $100 gift cards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
As long as you don't rack about the debt that you're paying your credit card off every month.
Right. And you got to have a plan in place. If you're flying, you might as well get the miles, right? Good. Thank you for sharing. And I owe you a book, okay? Thank you. Come back here. So your homework is basically determine your income, your funds available for each month, and do your budget. Do your budget using the tools. I don't know if this is part of your class to show that you do a budget, but is that extra credit, Howard? If they do a budget? Okay, so at the end, wrapping things up, most people don't plan to fail. They just fail to have a plan. Nobody wants to be a failure in life. To say I'm at age 65 and I'm still working. No, they just fail to have a realistic plan. Here's the facts. You're in the center with all your money. All these arrows want part of your money. Okay? These companies right here, their focus is to make money. So the problem is, traditional financial institutions are here to sell you products. They're here to sell you products because you are the consumers, okay? They don't provide you with a total solution. You go to a mortgage company and say, hey, how can I pay off my mortgage in less time, in record time? They're like, I can refinance for you. I can stretch it out. I can bring down your payments. They're not going to get you out of debt. Most people don't know where to go to get the help, and if they do, they cannot afford it. Can you afford Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab, Prudentials? We have credit unions that offer classes. It's free. Take advantage of the free stuff. I'm a financial coach. I'm free. If I ever charge you, you can come back to Howard. You'll never see me ever again. Yeah.
Yeah, my job offers that. I think it's like every Wednesday or one Wednesday out of the month that send you the fun emails. It'll be like at different libraries and stuff like that.
Yeah, take advantage of all the free stuff. If there's seminars or webinars, take advantage of it. That's how I learned. I learned because I was tired of not getting ahead. I'm tired of working day in, day out and have nothing to show for my hard work. There's something I'm not doing right. Then I look around, I see the rich and famous going on vacations and cruises, and I'm not. I'm hardworking too, right? You just got to plan. You got to plan your game plan. So, any questions for me? You good on time? Any questions? Yes. Questions? I'm bribing here. Any questions?
Would you say it's always better before you start focusing on really saving money to pay off your debt first?
It depends. You can do both. You can do both. You can have an emergency fund and pay off your debt at the same time. You see what I'm saying? You just have to have a healthy balance. Always put something aside. Yes?
So would opening up something like an IRA or a Roth IRA with a really good company, would this help you in the long term, or would it be more of a waste of money, do you think?
Anytime you put money aside to save is not a waste.
Okay.
You just got to know where you're putting it and what are you looking out of it? What are you looking for out of it?
Well,
You know?
Like when you turn like 65, you want to cash that out and hopefully get like 160,000 or.
It depends, sweetheart. I can't throw stuff out there and say at the end of 65 you'd have $1 million accumulated. It's how you do it and where you do it, and there's a whole lot that goes into that. So, does everybody have a survey in front of them? Like this? I'm sorry, I'm borrowing. This is how the nonprofit organization gets money to provide classes and stuff like this. So please take time out to fill that out right now. If you do want to sit down with me one-on-one to help you with this game plan, I'm available to help you. It's not part of your grade, so don't go to Howard and say, Howard, I should get an A because I sat down with Rae. Okay? Only if you're interested in sitting down with me one-on-one, I'm available to help you. It's my way of giving back. This is Michelle in the back. Michelle is my appointment setter. She keeps me in track. She keeps my calendar plugged. So, all right?
Okay.
Good deal?
Please thank Rae.
No problem.